Hey everyone, this is Erica Sabo. Welcome back to another one of my weekly vlogs. Let's see what's been going on this week. So probably the biggest thing to happen to me this week and the most frustrating has been my back injury. I talked about this last weekly vlog and talked about how frustrating it was and how it limits me so much in what I can do. This is specifically a tailbone injury, so as you can imagine, it affects a lot of things and unnecessarily so. Kind of like when you think about the collarbone or ribs, like you can't really do anything about the healing process, you just have to kind of let it go, right? So after pinpointing exactly how the injury happened, which I think it actually happened when I was in dance class and I fell really bad, yeah, then all hell broke loose. So it's been a matter of me figuring out the proper diagnosis for all of this. So as I mentioned before too, I went to my home doctor who did not know exactly what the issue was. So she sent me to go get massage therapy. I then went to get some massage therapy and it did not help me at all. So then she forwarded me over to the sports medicine doctor at the same office, and so I went to him and he was like, yep, you definitely injured your tailbone. And right now it just seems like it's bruising. I'm actually waiting for x-ray results, but yeah, it seems like bruising, and he then forwarded me to a physiotherapist in the same sports clinic. So I've been doing physiotherapy. I actually just did my first treatment and just tried to further diagnose the issue and try and pinpoint exactly how to fix it. But my therapist has been really amazing, and she's been doing this treatment called laser treatment, actually, where you actually have this machine here, where it has this rod, and you put it over the affected area, and the actual the laser light that's transmitted from it. Well, I don't even know exactly how exactly this works, but it helps accelerate recovery, and it helps alleviate any sort of pain and swelling. So you can imagine, sitting has been really hard for me. I've had to lean on things. I can't really sit in the office. I needed to set up a standing desk, and it's been very painful. It's been a chronic pain. But after doing even just one treatment, I'm really amazed to say that it's helped a lot, and I have significantly less pain than I did before. Right now it's more so just pressure, and if I sit on the affected area for too long, or if I just sit on it in general, or if I just have any sort of contact, then it can be pretty painful still. But yeah, this has quite literally been a pain in the butt. Quite literally. And I know that might sound really funny to some of you, but rest assured, if this happened to you, you would not be very happy right now. The first week was really difficult. It was really difficult, and it's one of those situations where you have a very clear mind and you know all these things that you need to do in your day, but it's your body that's holding you back. And you feel like you are probably 50 or 60 years older than you actually are. Actually just sitting up, getting up is painful, right? So it was tricky, and it stopped me from being able to play any of my console games because I'd have to sit in a chair, and can't really lie down and play video games because I feel nauseous unless it's a portable game. So I've mostly been playing on my Vita and my 3DS and been watching a lot of anime, and that has been taking up a lot of my time. I've also been teaching myself some Japanese. I've been doing some courses through a nice site called Lingualift, and yeah, it's helped pass the time. But now that things have actually gone for the better, I feel like I can do a lot more. The recovery process is still about 4 weeks regardless. I really shouldn't push myself even if I am feeling better. I still have a lot of treatments to do. I'm doing physio 2 times a week, but it's already been helping a lot, so keeping my fingers crossed. Keeping my fingers crossed. So in terms of gaming this week, there's been a lot of news, and there's been a lot of news that I know a lot of companies have wanted me to share with you guys too, and just a lot of really cool stuff and ways for me to pass the time during this recovery. So one of the games that I've been playing on my 3DS has been the Ace Attorney Dual Destinies game, which I'm very happy to be playing, and I'm really happy that I ended up getting it. I've been wanting it for a while, and I mean, it's been a while since we've had a proper Ace Attorney game, right? So it just kind of reminded me of how I want to replay them all over again. Especially Trials and Tribulations. I had mentioned how that was probably my favorite Ace Attorney game, mostly for story and characters and just all around. I thought it was the strongest game. But they're all kind of special in their own way. They're all pretty good. So I'm excited to play more of Dual Destinies, just a little bit. And that's the other thing, is in terms of this recovery, I can't really focus on a game for too long because I get so fatigued so quickly because my body is focusing right now on recovering, right? So I played a bit of Dual Destinies. I then talked to a few people on Facebook about the Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright game that's coming out in Europe, or that is out in Europe at this point, and unfortunately we do not get it in North America yet. I really hope we get it soon, I really do. It just says 2014 right now, so to be determined, but hopefully that does happen soon because that would be amazing. That would be so amazing. Let's see, another thing that I've been playing actually has been the Conception 2 demo. Some people reminded me of it on Twitter and Facebook, and I'm really happy that they did because I totally forgotten. You know, that has not been the #1 thing on my mind right now, but it's a game I've been wanting to play. I've been on the fence as to whether I want to, you know, get the limited edition for it or anything. I don't think I'm going to. Just like money-wise and just, I'll wait. But after playing the demo, I definitely do think I want to wait. The game has been interesting. It's been a very interesting game, and I guess I can see why there's been so much controversy, but I can also see how people are going a little bit overboard in terms of the controversy of the game, especially with the, I can't talk either, especially with the classmating. Like, I understand it's kind of weird, but when you think about it, the kids that you end up having are these, like, fighting spirits. They're not actually like your children. They're meant to fight in battle with you, right? And that's been one of the biggest things. A lot of people are like, okay, so you end up mating with with the gift of God, or the gift of God ends up mating with all these S rank girls, and then you end up having kids together, and then you make your kids fight. It's like, you don't actually make your kids fight. They're not really your kids either at that point, right? They're spirits, and you are fusing your powers together, which unfortunately is a form of conception, to create these little spirits, or whatever they are. And yeah, it sounds really strange, but it's been really, really interesting and fun. The battle system has been okay. It hasn't been anything, you know, groundbreaking by any means. It's still turn-based battles, and you can choose your positioning in battle, and of course you have your usual attack skills, all this stuff that I'm still limited on. But I'm enjoying it. The voice acting has been, it's been okay. It's been growing on me. I like how colorful the world is at this point. But right now I'm just very much being led around here and there, like a demo would usually do so. So I'm curious to see what the full game is going to be like, but I will pick it up. I will. I'm just going to wait a little bit, I think, and, you know, think it over. Decide what my priorities are at this point for the Vita. And yeah. I am enjoying it though. I am. It's a fun little game. So it's pretty light-hearted in its approach. I'm actually very curious to see how they plan on expanding on the story, or how much they plan on expanding on it. I really don't know. I have no idea, but there's a lot of really cute girls in it. So I'm curious to meet all of them, and I'm curious to get to know them and have like a little dating sim going on here. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, okay, so we have a really awesome announcement for anybody who is a fan of the Hyper Dimension Neptunia series. Rebirth is going to be coming out in Europe and North America this summer. It's pretty exciting. I've actually never really gotten into the series, but it's something I've been wanting to. So this really pumped me up and made me want to. So I'm probably gonna start playing the games just because they seem really fun and pretty lighthearted and funny and kind of silly, and I like that. I like that sometimes in a JRPG when it can offer that, because a lot of times they can be very heavy, right? So that's definitely going to be something I'm checking out. Another thing that I wanted to mention is looks like I get press releases from Newegg, and they wanted to let me know that they had just started a gaming website called Game Crate. I checked it out the other day, and it looks pretty impressive so far. It's brand spanking new. They have news, reviews, all your typical stuff, and I'm really excited to see more of it, to be honest. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's always interesting to hear when a new editorial outlet opens up. Working as a blogger, I always try and keep up to date with all that kind of stuff, and I'm curious to see where it goes and how far it ends up going. It's really cool to see a company, a retailer really, like an online retailer like Newegg, going in this sort of direction and seeing what they can do with it and seeing how it can enhance their business too. The last little bit of news I wanted to give was a bit of a shout out to Actual Sunlight, an interactive story by a local developer here in the city, Will O'Neill. He told me about his game, and it's something I'd been following for a while now, and it covers a lot of very mature themes. It's a very human approach to an interactive story, and something I'm really eager to play, and something that I feel like we need in this city, and we need in general in the indie game scene. I love interactive stories, but I love it when it can be that much more human, when it can reflect that much more on your personal life, whether that involves, you know, just different aspects of your day-to-day life. That could involve depression, that could involve, you know, your workplace, or things that people are sometimes too afraid to talk about. And, you know, I like that he doesn't have that fear, that he's willing to go and open up about that kind of stuff in such a personal manner. So this game is, it was actually greenlit on Steam, and it's going to be released on April 7th. I think this is really exciting news and something that I just wanted to share with all of you. It's a really important game and something that I'll be linking to below if you're interested in checking it out. It is Windows only at this point, so, you know, unfortunately for all you Mac users, not yet. But if you are a PC user, then definitely check out this game. I highly, highly recommend it. Another thing, because that apparently was not my last news, I did also want to say Steins Gate is released today, so that's exciting. Today, as in March 31st. If I'm on Patreon, this is going up a little bit earlier, but regardless, yeah, March 31st. This is a really cool visual novel and, of course, anime that you might be familiar with, time travel anime that's gotten a lot of buzz, and this is another example of an interactive story, very much so, and something that I know a lot of you will really enjoy, and something that I plan on picking up once I have a PC, which is something I'll have to do soon. I definitely need to pick up a laptop soon. I'm just trying to figure out my options and see what I should get, what I shouldn't. I don't think it's going to be that difficult, just because of the fact that I mostly want to play games like visual novels and indie games, such as Actual Sunlight and Steins Gate. So that's gonna happen soon enough, I'm sure. So in terms of anime, I've been watching a lot. As I mentioned before, I've been watching a lot of Higurashi no Nakokoro ni, which you might be familiar with. It's also translated to When They Cry. It's been crazy. I just finished the first season, and I'm on to Kai right now, which is the second season, and I'm amazed by it. It's funny how visually it doesn't look very appealing at all, but as you get more and more into the story, and as you visit each of the different arcs and find out more about what's going on in this strange little village, it becomes incredibly dark and something I was not expecting at all, and you become that much closer to the visual style, and it kind of becomes ironic in a way that the visual style is the way it is, because it tries to be such a generic to comedy. I will say right now that I find the comedy to be funnier in season 2 than in season 1, and just in general the flow of the series I'm enjoying a lot in Kai. I like how it's much more subdued in comparison. I like the action, I like the violence, but there's something nice about actually having more dialogue and more piecing together the mystery. So that's something I've really been enjoying. Of course, as you can imagine, Nagiyasu has been a big part of my life. It's down to the last episode next Thursday, and I am on the brink right now. it has been really, really amazing, and I love it very much. Now, if you checked my Instagram or Twitter or Facebook and stuff, you saw I posted a poster. Actually, I just got, there's a really awesome seller on eBay. Let me put this down, that I ended up getting a poster from. So I got these part 2 poster, which you can see here. Sorry, it's a little bit folded up still. I'm trying to figure out where to put it and everything too. I didn't realize it was going to be so big. I had no idea actually that it was going to be so big, but I'm probably going to put it in my bedroom because I obviously don't have space right here to do so. So I'm getting another issue of Dengeki Dao though, which will have a smaller poster, which I'll probably be able to put up here. But yeah, it's been an amazing series and a very heartbreaking one. If you're familiar with it, you know exactly what I mean, but I can't believe it's almost over. That said though, keep in mind I will be doing a review of this series very fast. I'm actually already working on it. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, regardless of what the ending is, I already have a lot to say about it. So you can rest assured that will be coming up in the next couple weeks. Aside from that, I did want to say that there are some new Nendroids that are actually going to be released. I've been keeping up with Nendroids a lot lately, and something that I've definitely warmed up to ever since my issue with poor Monokuma over there. He came injured. Yeah, he really was injured, just like me. His parts were all messed up. So I contacted Good Smile, and they were awesome enough to send me spare parts so he would not be damaged. And I really appreciate that. So of course I've been keeping a lot more eye on Nendroids, and there's been some new news in terms of Nendroids that are available for pre-order, and those are Rin Tosaka, who you might know through the Fate series. Of course, Type Moon has a lot of really amazing stuff actually, which I will get into really soon. But yeah, the Fate series is one of them, so she's been a part of Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero as well, and like all the other Fate visual novel stuff that's been coming out, right? So she is available for pre-order, and then Mako from Kill la Kill as well. So that's pretty exciting. And speaking of Kill la Kill, I should probably continue watching that. It's something I've been wanting to. But back to Type Moon, actually. Now it's funny, I didn't actually know so much about Type Moon until I started watching G.R.R. Kata's reviews. Like, I had already watched a bit of Fate Zero because I already had Crunchyroll, and I knew of Fate Stay Night, right? But I didn't know about all this other stuff that was going on in the Type Moon universe, and I didn't even know that they were based on visual novels. Like, I felt like such a noob. So I started looking into it more, and, you know, started watching more of Fate Zero, which I still need to finish. I still need to finish that. Keep bothering myself about that. I need to keep at it. But one thing, speaking of Type Moon, that I really want to get into, that's Kara no Kyokai, which is, as I'm sure a lot of you know, if you are familiar with Type Moon, it's a series of feature films set in the universe, and it's supposed to be extremely groundbreaking, both story-wise and visually. And yeah, I decided I'm going to be marathoning Kara no Kyokai after I'm done with Higurashi. I'm very excited to do that, actually. Very excited. Another thing that I want to do, because it's only 12 episodes, is watch Tsukihime. And that's another really important one that actually has a lot of connections with Kara no Kyokai. I really want to delve into it. And since it's only 12 episodes, I feel like I can go through that, you know, in less than a day, and then I can start doing that movie marathon. So that's going to be happening soon, and I'm really excited because Kara no Kyokai is one of those series that I've been wanting to follow for a while. And not only that, but just the universe in general, I really want to get more into. I really want to get into these visual novels and start playing them and start seeing what all the fuss is about. So yeah, some pretty exciting stuff. If you have any suggestions in terms of what I should start with, whether we're talking Tsukihime or Kara no Kyokai, please let me know. I don't know if there's like a particular fashion in which I should be watching these, but But yeah, there's a lot to see in so little time, right? So in terms of YouTube, I haven't been the most productive just because of my recovery and injury and everything, but I have been able to check out a lot of really cool YouTube channels in the last bit, and some of those are Business17, really awesome gaming content. I definitely recommend. We have a lot in common, and if you're watching this, I'm really happy that I ended up finding your channel. I'm really happy that we ended up finding each other, actually. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of your videos. Another one that I have been enjoying is Jessie Chan, who I recently met on Facebook and then later on Twitter. And then we just, yeah, everything just worked out in the end. But Jessie has some really, really cool anime videos that I definitely recommend. She's got some really cool cosplays too. Another one is my friend Graham Williams. He's actually a friend of mine, someone who I worked with at the Future Shop Tech blog a long time ago, and he has some really funny gaming content that you should check out too. And let's see, who else? Jimmy Happa, who has some very cool import gaming stuff, and it just always further educates me on import gaming and my love for it, and it just makes me realize how little I know about it, despite how much I like to think I know a lot about it. So it's definitely amazing. There's also a really great blog that I want to give a shout out to that I'm really enjoying. No, I'm sorry if I botched this because it's very hard to try and figure out how to say this. It's Nyanho Yumamite at Blogspot. It's a really great site for learning Japanese. It's a great aid in terms of reviews on different sites that you should check out if you are interested in learning Japanese. And the girl is probably the sweetest thing in the world. She is amazing, and I'd love to see more of her blog. It's a fairly new one. I think she started it last October, and I definitely can't wait to learn more, so I'll be linking to that below as well. Now, there's been a lot of other things that have kind of seeped through the cracks this week. There's been a lot of other things that have happened, but at the same time, like, they haven't happened to the same extent as everything I did already mention, so I'm sure I'll be mentioning all that in the coming weeks. But I really hope you enjoyed this weekly vlog. I really appreciate the fact that all of you understand that unfortunately I could not really post a video on Friday because I'm trying to take it easy. So this week it was my Shinsekai Yori review, which really is not getting as much love as it deserves. It is not, and it's actually doing the same thing as the anime did, I feel too. So if you haven't checked it out, please do, and I don't know, maybe let everybody else know too, who you know who might be an anime enthusiast, someone who might really enjoy the anime. I highly recommend checking out the review and checking out the anime as well. So yeah, I think aside from that, that is it for this week. Thank you so much everybody for your support in this difficult time, but next week I will be back to my usual 3-day schedule, and there's going to be a lot coming up. So I can't wait for a speedy recovery, and I can't wait to see you all again very soon. So I hope you have an awesome weekend. Peace.